Right, the Saturday school and the Akacia Saturday school started in 13th of September 1997. As myself was one of the funders, because having been an education welfare officer.
Your name is?
My name is Pauliana Latham, and I was working for one of the local council as an education welfare officer, and going into the schools and see the need there, especially for our people, the children of our culture, and I felt the need wasn't there. So I did it as part of my dissertation, which I did race and education for my thesis for my degree. And from there, we set up this school, which was sort of first set up in my home. And we took the discussion from there, went look at a few schools around London. Decent Henry was one of the Decent Henry school, Saturday school was one of them that we actually went and researched on before we actually went ahead and started the school here. But the reason for starting it is because we felt that the need of our children wasn't being met in mainstream, and we thought that it would be good to give them something extra or complement something extra to their education and to their cultural knowledge.
Okay, just adding to what Pauliana said, as Pauliana said, just to give
And you are?
I'm Brother Gorden Stewart, lived in High Wycombe since 1987, myself and my wife Karen. Right. We have two children also that have come through the system. But back in 1997, just before that, we had a Saturday school that was running in the community. But as soon as the funds were pulled, that Saturday school wasn't anymore. It was run by the Afro-Caribbean Association at the time. But when that organization went, the school went, and that went with the funds. As Pauliana already said, concerned parents met by our home to decide that we would like to, about 2 years after or so,
yes,
that we're gonna set up Saturday school. And we had the facility at this center, the Hilltop Center, and we started the Saturday school at here. We had, like Pauliana had about 2 boys that have come through the system, right? We had a son and a daughter that have come through it. Currently we got Freddie's children are here.
Yeah.
And so we are parents that we know that the mainstream system doesn't cater in a holistic way for our children. So we make sure that apart from getting the key subjects we do here is the numeracy and the maths, but also we have a cultural input along with it, which is what they don't get in the school system.
Now, how important is that cultural input?
I think it's very important. I myself, being Pan-Africanist, and I know Coach Joe and Freddie, and so we know that it doesn't stop with looking after your own family or educating your own family. You need to do things with the community and give back to the community as part of your lifestyle. So having the Saturday school is very important, because we also take the children out on tours. We go to like the British Museum, we do things on Black history. We would invite in a drummer, and various speakers, role models, and various people to help with that cultural part of the school and let the children have a strong identity so that when they go into the system, they're equipped to perform even better. Would you like to say?
I joined the school sometime
2005.
2005. It was through attending some of the African Forum, the Pan African Forum meetings, and discussing our culture, our race, and some of the needs, especially for the young from an education perspective. Being a teacher myself, the problem of having positive representation in the school, specifically for the young black males, and even also for the young black females, is absent, and it's quite negative. So trying to bring something positive to that, to sort of, at least even just from a role model perspective, is very important. A lot of the young black males don't see black males in positive, but also in contributory sort of situations where they're doing something good, doing something positive, and leading. And confident about themselves, being confident about themselves, having some knowledge, having to be able to articulate themselves, but having self-knowledge of who they are as well. From in the school perspective, in the schools there is celebration of various different cultures and different days, and the African doesn't have that. Our only episode is the when they teach history is slavery, which the young people draw a negative sort of a negative feeling from. So it's being able to sort of explain to them and show them that our existence is not just slavery. It's a lot more than that. So I started working here and joined the team. I have my 2 children here. Both are going through the Saturday school system, and they have greatly benefited not just from the education, but from the whole sort of social and family perspective. So here, all the teachers are of African or Caribbean descent, so they all look like each other. We all look like each other, and it's a school. So we're uncle and auntie, and the food, communication, the discipline is completely different to what happens in the mainstream. My child also often, he differentiates between the schools that he goes to. He clearly distinctly knows when he's going to African school and he's going to European school, the behaviours, expectations, how he's treated and how he feels amongst his peers. Here he's at ease. He can be free. He's like looking at the mirror when he sees another student, another person, or a teacher. Whereas that experience is completely different when he goes to the European school, his mainstream school, where he is he's a minority and things are different. The way people approach him, the way he interacts, and this is the feedback that my son will tell me.
What age is your son?
My son is 9 years old. Uh-huh. But in terms of even his name, something that he's mentioned how in that school, his experience, where children don't really understand and know his name. He has an African name, which he likes to be called and which he's proud of. But at times he has found that challenging whilst being in the European school, which is something that has never occurred when he's amongst people who have similar names. So it's the whole experience is one can't detail it in any. Well, I would find it very difficult to detail it. It's life. It's life. So every little intricate detail about the place, about the school plays out here. From teacher to discipline, from personal problems, from social problems. So it's it's quite a profound experience that and holistic that goes on here. So and I said the need is great, because if you in the school systems, you find that our children are disproportionately disadvantaged. They underperform. They're misunderstood. They're misunderstood in the school systems. through lack of not understanding who we are as a people. Our energy is different. How it manifests is different. At times we can be more animated. We can be more, in a sense, energized, and it comes across to somebody who doesn't understand that. Maybe aggressive, or it could come aggressive because I teach in the schools, and European kids tend to interact differently. They're more, you can say, more placid. Their interactions are not as you can say sometimes
energetic.
They're not as lively, not as energetic. And when, let's say, an African child, exhibits these types of behaviours, it's maybe frowned upon, or it's deemed as something which is, well, it's definitely not the norm, whilst when you're predominantly a classroom of European children. So the environment is conducive to positive learning, but holistic development for a child.
And when you say holistic development of a child, apart from academia, what other things can a child do when he comes to the Akacia Saturday School?
Okay, I would talk, other things I would talk to about when they move off, that would help. When they finish, we encourage them, and they are happy to come back to help out.
Good.
For example, our children, when they went off to university, they were happy to come back to help when they come in, finish like holiday time, they will come in and give time to the children, and let them know they were here as students. It would help if they even putting chairs together or helping with the lunch, the snacks, and they have them in the classes. Yes. And they feel proud. We got children too who are not only university, we have them in the high school, and they're coming back. They still want to be part of that continuity. They come back and give and be taught be taught. If they have any problem with the schoolwork, they will come and get further support. So they're out, but they're still happy to come back. They will come on trips. We have we have many of them, they have a trip, they want to be part of it. Anything we do it, so they want that. They're eager to be part of. So they have that, they want that continuity. So that's good.
That's a real village mentality.
Yes, yes.
A real village
and
mentality.
And we admire them for that, because you think they, they finish, but they're not finished.
There's people like Akacia, and so they've left the school probably a few years ago, but they've got the kindred friendships that they maintain like through life, and which has started at the school.
Yeah. So it's very good, very good.
Okay. And what are the challenges of running a Saturday school in this times of austerity?
Funding.
But
we contribute.
Yeah, because
so you're still
a lot of us here are basically volunteer teachers. Yeah, the majority, we all volunteer. We don't get paid for what we do. And
so with mainly funding. Yeah. And even we going on trips.
Yeah.
We go on the trip.
And we contribute still what we have to contribute.
We might get the parents, so if they want to, if we could contribute towards, and parents are happy to put whatever towards. Yeah.
So there's all that collective thing that we do. We bring in things.
I mean, we must be doing something, right? Because we've been going from since 1997.
Yeah, absolutely.